It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots, and it comes your way next.
From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And we are underway in Foxborough. And he returns this to the 22. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. He'll get this to the 24, and it's second down.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
To the air right away is Brady. Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake, Brady. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there, nearly an opening drive INT.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a second and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From Falcon territory now, here's first and 10 at the 46. Brady. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Again, it's Brady. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage, and that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And again, he'll find Gronkowski complete. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down. Now Brady again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Patriots are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, first and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to run it? Do you want to continue to throw it? Spin the dial, make your choice. But right now, you like what you're doing in this possession.
Now Brady on the bootleg. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. They'll give to Falk up the middle. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
In motion is Welker. Brady now on third and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. From 4 yards out. And the Patriots will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
First down, Vick. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
The end result, 21 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A first down throw coming for Vick. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Vick with the incompletion on first down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. And he's going to take this down close to the first as he's brought down at the Patriots 38. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
On first down, Turner. And he's got it down to the 28.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On play action, Vick. He's got his man. It's White. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
To throw, Vick. This is caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Second and goal from the 1. Now here's Vick. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Falcons respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it's capped off by the Austin Hooper touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A gain there of 21 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll go right back to the ground with Falk. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From midfield, here's Brady. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 33. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Now a give left side to Falk. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now a 2nd and 2. Brady going to throw. Wide open, Gronkowski. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Vick on 2nd down. Getting this into the hands of Turner. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd and 6. Vick to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down by about 1 yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
That burst good for 20 and a first down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Up the middle they go. Turner. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down, it's Turner. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground. honed in on it and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Vick readies to throw. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. Gets past one man. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
Just one play at a time, baby.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Throwing, Vick. That's complete to Turner. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 14. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Vick. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have moved out in front.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. New England's offense set to go. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, they've got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the first down marker.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Brady to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Morgan. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
It's complete. He finds Falk here. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Brady to throw again. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Hunter Henry brings it in, and he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Brady. That is caught. And they have a 1st down and well into field goal range also at the 16 now. Into the red zone, it's Brady. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And he comes back with one complete. And the Patriots are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach,
this
thanks
one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan.
Game
just a one-point game here at halftime.
For quarter number 3.
This has been as much fun as you could hope for, with both these teams in it to win it.
The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Turner. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Vikk now. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returning is Peppers. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Patriots take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Brady now on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
What's the deal, y'all? Keep on, boys. Let's be smart. Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
Now 2nd and 5. To throw is Brady. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Morgan. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. Third down and 1. Play action. Now it's Brady. He's got it at the 15. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now Brady on the bootleg. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Patriots have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. So a very strong first drive in the 2nd half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a 3rd quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well moving the ball down the field.
So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2. Now a toss going left. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. So from the 37, here's 2nd and a yard. On play action, Vikk. Caught by Turner. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll run on first down. Turner, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd down, Vikk. Throw caught there by Crumpler. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now a handoff up the middle. Turner. He's got it to the 43 here.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Vick. Throwing the out route and complete. It's White. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Vick. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for New England, and even 50 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one onto the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Touchdown, Patriots! From 6 yards away, as his guys are able to extend their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point right down the middle, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Now here's Vick. It's caught. This is White. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. From the shotgun, it's Vick. It's complete to his big target, Crumpler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Vick running the option left. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And now the rookie's free. He's to the 15. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Now it's Patterson. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 4.
They run the counter. It's Turner.
And this will be a Falcons first down as the tackle made just shy of the 30.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Vikk to throw it. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
New England trying to get to place on offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris, on a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away.
And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On second down, Vikk again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So far on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing, Vikk.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Desperation time. Vick on 4th down. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Brady now on 1st down. Short pass caught by Henry. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This 2nd and 4. Now a give inside for Falk. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling the...
And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Patriots have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
The extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Now it's Patterson. Now it's Patterson. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to return this one all the way out to the other side of the field across the 50.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
On 1st and 10, here's Vick. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Turner. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, Vick. And it's caught. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the 2nd half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
No question, he's so dangerous down here near the goal line. The safeties, they have to be involved in run support against a quarterback like this. And in turn, they're going to ask their teammates to be involved as well.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons get a small measure of revenge as they come into this 4th quarter deficit. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even 1 step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
Extra point right down the middle. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
Come on, baby. Get up. Play a little aggressive, baby.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On the give, here's Falk. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Running right, here's Falk. And some room to roam now. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
On the handoff, this is Falk. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Brady now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Patriots first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Let's roll. That's what I'm talking about. You're supposed to catch that.
2nd and 7 from the 20. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to about the 19. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis.